Hi there, welcome to yet another video helping you with some maths. Today, we will do a mock maths paper. We will surely be giving the answers and short explanations towards the end. Many think that maths is all about numbers only. That may be true, but proper understanding is also necessary. If you read the question wrong, you get your math wrong. Many of our friends love maths, whereas there are some who fear it. There is nothing to fear. That should be your affirmation today. I will not fear maths anymore. We are doing our mock test on video. We will show you 1 or 2 questions at a time. Remember, it is self-paced and marked. So, pause the video, do the question, and then move on. There are some questions which may ask you to draw. In such cases, you may either draw a rough diagram or a proper one in your book. It is for your understanding. So, get your rulers, pencils, and rubbers ready. You will probably be provided these in your actual SATs at school. Yes, it is self-paced test, but keep a timer or stopwatch. You can ask your parents to help create an exam condition at home with no interruptions or noises. The time limit for this test is 45 minutes only. We would highly recommend that you do not extend the time limit. Consider this as an actual test and do it within the time given. We will play each page for 5 seconds and then move on to the next. You may pause the video and do the question. Once you're done, press play and move forward. Ready? Let's begin. That was the last question in the test. If you have missed any question, and if you are still within your time limit, rewind, go back and do that question. Are you ready to have a look at the answers and short explanations? Remember, the answers will always be the same. However, you can arrive at that answer in many ways. We may have shown you only one or two of them. Here are the first two questions. I am sure you would have got it correct. It is simple and straightforward. 0.75 is read as 75p. So that has to be smallest, and then you can easily build that answer up and reach £10 and 50 pence. For the second question, those three numbers are the only combination you have to reach 100. In question 3, have a look at the arrow. The diagram or picture has turned 90 degrees in the clockwise direction. There is only one picture that looks exactly the same amongst the 5 options. We have ticked it for you. Question 4 has 2 parts. For the first part, 1 coconut is 78p. 1 kilogram of banana is £1 20 pence. So, half a kilo will become 60p. When you add them up, you get 78 plus 60 equals 138 pence. We now need to change that into pounds. 100 pence is £1, so 138 pence will become £1 38 pence. For the second part, 1 orange is 25 pence. So we can get 4 oranges in £1 and another 2 for 50 pence. Therefore, in £1 and 50 pence, you can get 4 plus 2, 6 oranges. I do not think we need to explain the fifth question. The diagram has to be a proper reflection as shown here. The next question states that you can use 2, 5, and 7 more than once. This gives us the liberty to do some calculation. The answers shown there are the only options we get when we use the 3 numbers given to fill the blanks. If you are confused in the 7th question, we have given you some pictures to clarify things. The cone has only one flat surface, which is at the bottom. In the picture given, the cone is resting on its flat surface. The other surface of the cone is curved. The cuboid has 6 flat surfaces and obviously no curved surfaces. The cylinder has 2 flat surfaces, on the top and bottom, and 1 curved surface. For question 8, we can have a range between 340 and 360 for the first one, and between 240 and 260 for the second one. Most of you will write the answer as 350 and 250, but we may have some friends who may be struggling to see the pictures clearly. In question 9, we see that there is a gap or difference of 20 between the 2 numbers given. We can get that by subtracting 960 from 980. This tells us that the line in the center between those 2 numbers is 970. This should imply that each line is 5. If that is the case, we get the first box by subtracting 5 from 960, which is 955. The second one can be got adding 30 to 980, which is 1010. I am sure some of you found this question tricky. It is a bit tricky thanks to all the play of words in the question. What the question means is that you should have less of 3 and more of 2 and 1. Likely chance of getting a 1 or 2 is possible only if we have equal numbers of 1 and 2. Have a look at the numbers written in red. That is one way of doing it. The other way is to remove the 3 altogether and have the spinner numbered as shown in green. It is irrelevant of how and where you write your 1s and 2s. They just have to be in the spinner and should either be 4 1s and 2s or 3 1s and 2s. We have to do reverse maths for question 11. We will try to find the original number by taking the answer and doing the exact opposite of what is written. We will begin from the last stage. The answer given is 90 and we get it when he takes away 9. So, we will add 9 to 90. This gives us 99. Then it says that he multiplied by 3. Therefore, we will divide by 3. 99 divided by 3 will give us 33. Then it says he added 4. We will, therefore, subtract 4 from 33, which will give us the number from which Josh started his calculations. The number is 29. The 12th question may come as a tricky one for many. The hint here is that each box is 1 centimeter square grid. This means that when you count the number of squares properly, you get the area of the shaded region. We have numbered the boxes for you. We have 10 complete boxes and 2 half boxes, one on the top right and the other on the bottom left. There are a total of 4 half-shaded boxes there. So, we can make 2 complete boxes from them. This will add up the total of boxes to 12. The area of the shaded region is thus 12. We know that Sapna and Robbie in total had 14. Sapna has 2 more than Robbie. So, if we take that 2 away from her, she and Robbie will have the same number of biscuits. If we take away 2 from the actual total of 14, we are left with 12. So, if we take the above explanation, each of them should have 6. So, Robbie has 6, but Sapna has 2 more than him, which would be 8. For this question, we have drawn a green oval for reference. Have a look. The picture turns 90 degrees clockwise as it goes from left to right. So, we should get the green dot on the right side in the third picture. If that is true, then our triangles should be as shown by the red lines. Many get coordinate questions wrong. They are actually one of the more easier ones to solve. We know that the vertical line, which goes from top to bottom, is the y-axis, and the horizontal line, from the left to the right, is the x-axis. When we write coordinates, the first number in the brackets is always a number from the x-axis and the second one is from the y-axis. We have drawn a green dot for understanding the concept of this question. Do we agree that the green dot, the point A and C are in a straight line? If so, the first number or x-coordinate for point A is 10. This means that the first number for C is also 10 as it is on the same line. Let's look at point B now. Point B is on the y-axis. Therefore, x-axis is 0 for it. Point A and B lie as a straight line as well, and there is a line joining them with the y-axis. This tells us that the second coordinate in point A should be the same for point B. So, our coordinates for point B are 0 and 10. The question says that the pictures are identical squares, so each side should be 10. We have already figured that the x-coordinate for C is 10. This point is above A and B. So, if we move from B to the blue dot, that should be another 10, isn't it? Now as the blue dot and C lie on the same line, C will be at 10 plus 10, which is 20. So, our final coordinates for C are 10 and 20. You can't go wrong with this question. You simply need to list all the factors and find the common ones out of it. In this case, they are 1, 2, 5, and 10. We all know that 20 times 20 is 400, which is way less than 1,000. We also know that 30 times 30 will give us 900, which is less than 1,000. If 40 is multiplied with 40, we get 1,600. This tells us that our answer lies between 30 and 40. Our aim is to find that smallest number which when multiplied by itself gives us a number above 1,000. We start with 31. 31 times 31 is equal to 961. 32 times 32 is equal to 1,024. So, 32 is our answer. Each line in this graph indicates 10. We use this information to list down the number of people who had the different types of soup. Mushroom equals 75. Chicken equals 90. The difference in 15. This is the answer for the first one. There are 135 people having tomato soup. The total number of people equals 300. As 135 is less than half of 300, Robbie's statement in the second question is wrong. Sapna uses 1 banana, 2 oranges, and 3 apples. This tells us that in 6 fruits, 2 are oranges. So, in 12, there would be 4 oranges. In 18, there will be 6 oranges, and in 24, there will be 8 oranges. We can also do this question using proportions as shown on the right of the page. Most of us would jump to the conclusion that 7.4 times 10 is the closest to 70. It is not. It is 7.4 times 9.4, which is 69.56, which is way closer to 70 than 74. This is an isosceles triangle. Therefore, two sides and angles are equal. Total of all angles in any triangle is 180. We have been given one angle equals 110. 180 minus 110 is equal to 70, which is total of both the x. Therefore, 1x equals 35. For this question, we need to follow a sequence. We know that the total of everything is 103. This is given in the question. So, we write it down on the bottom right side. Now, we know that 103 take away 53 should give us 50, which we can write on the top right. If the total in that line is 50 and number of boys playing hockey is 22, we can subtract 22 from 50 to get 28. Now, the number of girls playing hockey is 27. This is again given in the question, so we write that down. So the total of students playing hockey will be 49. So, 103 take away 49 will give us 54. This should help us fill the last box. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. The first part of this question is easy. You can find 10% of 60, which is 6, and follow the method to find 30%. This will give you the answer as 18. For the second question, we need a different approach. Always remember that when we talk about percentages, it can be written as a fraction with 100 in the denominator and the percentage number as the numerator. In this case, 30% can be written as 30 over 100. So, 30 over 100 times something should give you 60. In order to solve such questions, we will multiply 100 with the answer first. In this case, it will give us 60 times 100 is equal to 6,000. We then divide 6,000 with the number given in the percentage, which is 30. Therefore, 6,000 divided by 30 will give us 200. This is an easy question if you use logic. Perimeter is when you add all the sides together. We know that the width is 15.7. So, 15.7 plus 15.7 is equal to 31.4. 85 take away 31.4 is equal to 53.6. 53.6 is the total of both the lengths. So, one length will be half of 53.6. 53.6 divided by 2 is equal to 26.8. Let's look at the last question in this test. The weight of the box with the matchsticks in them is 45 grams. The box alone weighs 12 grams. So, the weight of the matchsticks alone will be 45 take away 12 is equal to 33. Therefore, for the total weight of 220 matchsticks is 33 grams. To find the weight of one matchstick, we divide 33 by 220. We would have to follow either bus stop method or long division method for this. 33 will not go into 220 as it is smaller than 220. So, we put a decimal point on the top first. This will allow us to put a 0 next to 33, making is 330. 220 will go in 330 only one times. So, we write 220 below 330 and subtract. We write 1 on the top as 220 times 1 is equal to 220. This will give us 110. Again, 110 will not go in 220 as it is less. However, as we have already put a decimal point, this will allow us to add another 0 to 110, making it 1100. 5 lots of 220 make 1100. So, we write 5 next to the 1 on top. Then we write 1100 at the bottom, take away, resulting in 0 as our remainder. The answer is what we get on the top. It is 0.15 grams. That was the end of the mock test for today. We know that many out there struggle with division involving decimals. We have already got a lot of requests and we will be publishing a video soon about that topic. Stay tuned. We at Febby's can help you in preparing for SATs. We have a chat option on our website. Please head to febbystutorials.co.uk. See you all soon.